Hey everybody, welcome to my third video here at the Young Toffee Everton fan channel. But today it's a video that's not gonna have to do anything with Everton, but it is by Premier League 2023-2024 predictions. Predictions, obviously the Premier League kicks off in about 24 hours with Manchester City playing Burnley. So yeah, I'm gonna have every 20 club and where I think they will finish. I have some things that people might agree and some things that people don't disagree. And if you like this video, just in case you like it, please leave a comment or subscribe or even like the video. If you don't like it, you can of course leave a dislike. So the first club is Manchester City. Obviously, no surprises here. I don't think we have to get into much talking about why you think they will actually win it. First and foremost, I mean, they're a club that has like lots of money. If someone leaves, they say, okay, you can leave, and they find like the perfect replacement. They signed Vardy for like 80 million, and they don't even like need him that much. I guess they have Laporte and Ruben Dias, but Laporte might leave the club. So yeah, I won't get much into it. So club I have put second is a bit controversial, and I don't like it either because personally I'm an Everton fan. But this video is gonna be unbiased. It's got to have nothing to do with Everton. So second place I put Liverpool, Everton's bitter rivals. Although I don't particularly like Liverpool, which because I'm an Everton fan, I think they've done an excellent job with signing McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai, whatever. And yeah, I think if you have to go like injury free this season, same with last season, if they didn't have so many injuries, they would finish definitely in a top four place. And you know what? I think they're a club that is also kind of like Man City. Whoever wants to leave can leave and just find not a perfect replacement, but an excellent replacement. Obviously, they might bring in um, Romeo Lavia for 50 million from Southampton, but you never know. Chelsea may put a bid in the table. But yeah, if they have like maybe one injury per month, I think they'll manage to finish second. Now, third, I've gone with Manchester United, although I think Arsenal will finish third. I just have that funny feeling Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag in his second season will be quite better. So, obviously, they've brought in a good few players, but they've lost David De Gea. They've brought in Andrew Nana, who I think is an excellent goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but I think he'll need time to adjust in England. Obviously, you saw that goal, although it was pretty much Thiago Dalot's fault. Anyways, it was shit from the halfway line, in case you um, didn't know. Obviously, they have Alejandro Garnacho, which is a very promising player. They've like got Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, I think even though they have they have worse squad depth than Arsenal, in my opinion, it is my contention that they finish top of Arsenal just for a point. But yeah, I'd actually like to see Arsenal finish third, even though it will be a downgrade from last season. Now, fourth place, I've gone with Arsenal, as I already mentioned, a club which obviously is a club that since 2022 has had an excellent year. I mean, Michael Arteta, the board believe in him. He got rid of all the debt with like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexander Lacazette, and he really reinvested in the squad. So it's a squad that has got Martinelli, it's got Bukayo Saka, it's got Martin Odegaard, who are packed with potential. They have buckets of potential. So for all these reasons, I think they're gonna get a top four finish, no matter what. Now fifth is a bit controversial. I've put in Chelsea. Now I don't think money can buy football particularly, but I mean the squad depth in this case it can. Obviously they've lost in Cuckoo for like 4 months if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they have Thiago Silva, a very experienced captain and an excellent centre back. They've got like Chilwell, Cucurella, so much squad depth. They've obviously got Santos, Nicholas Jackson, a very promising player who I think if he keeps fit, he can really solve Chelsea's striker problem. Obviously, they've sold Havertz and probably gonna sell Ziyech. I don't know. They've sold Koulibaly, Mendy, Kepa. I heard is rumored to go to Bayern Munich on loan, but um, obviously they've spent so much money in the last years, and I think it's in the last year and I think it's gonna really pay off for them. Now, sixth place Newcastle, of course. It's gonna be sad seeing them finish off at top four place. So look, I don't usually like rich clubs, but with Newcastle it's a bit different. They've been like rich for like 2 seconds, metaphorically of course. But look at what they've built. Their signings like Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Ellington, who was like I think a kind of fraud signing, he's been really good. Almiron, Alexander Isak, even Wilson, their like backup striker, is way better than Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin because he can actually keep fit. So yeah, it is a bit sad that they won't be in the top four. But I think Chelsea with the squad depth they will manage to clinch that automatic Europa League place. But of course, Newcastle will easily qualify for the Europa League. And yeah, we'll see. Seventh, I've put Spurs. Now, listen, this I may need to think. This video was like the slides were made 2 days ago before Tottenham Hotspur agreed a deal for Harry Kane. So actually, if Harry Kane leaves, I don't think they have a proper striker to replace him. Richarlison, who's a player I really like, thanks to his time at Everton and what he did for Everton. I don't think he's found his form again. I don't think he's ready for Tottenham. I don't think he should have gone there in the first place. I think a club like Chelsea would have fitted him better because like they're a more energetic club. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe they'll finish seventh, maybe they won't. But I mean, they've spent so much money bringing obviously Mickey van de Ven in, who might play alongside Romero, and finally Eric Dyer will actually stop playing as a starting centre back. Because the fact that Spurs still have Eric Dyer on the team, who's one of the worst ball playing defenders I saw playing the Premier League last season, like playing regularly, it's quite embarrassing, you know. And obviously the goalkeeper problem. Have it is Vicario the right man for the job? I think actually Hugo Lloris might be better. But of course we'll see. So if Harry Kane eventually leaves and they don't sign like a proper replacement, I think Aston Villa are gonna clinch that spot and Spurs will finish ninth or eighth. Now eight I've gone with Brighton. And I've seen many people putting Aston Villa in front of Brighton, but you know, Aston Villa have a huge squad, right? They brought in like Musa Diaby, they brought in Pau Torres, obviously Henry has completely turned it around for them. But I don't care. Brighton is my second favorite Premier League club because they're a great club. Like they were like 10 years ago, or like even 7 years ago, they were in League Two or something, and now they're challenging for a Europa League spot. So whilst everything was like spending 25 million on Cenk Tosin and like I don't know 25 million on like name it, like whatever player, Brighton were fighting in like the Championship or League One, and look at them now selling McAllister for 40 million, Caicedo for like possibly 100 million. Even though I think it's too high of a price tag. But look at them now. Imagine if Everton were run like this, and like they've spent like not even half the money Everton have spent. Anyways, it's sad talking about it. So ninth I've put Aston Villa. Obviously they've lost Ashley Young, which I think they definitely should renew his contract. He's 38, but look, he was able to like bench Matty Cash. Anyways, probably Aston Villa are gonna finish ahead of Brighton because they have a better squad depth than them. Like I feel Brighton has a lot of players, but like they're not ready for the first team. But you never know. I mean, Brighton, even Ferguson, like I'm not saying it in a bad way because I love even Ferguson since I'm half Irish, half Greek. He came out of nowhere, and look at him now. His market value is currently at 30 million, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, maybe. So this was the hardest part for me. I think who finishes seventh, eighth, and nine. Who gets to seventh spot? Does Aston Villa get it? Does Brighton get it? Are Spurs ready to get it? So you know the Spurs might pull off like a great start and like maybe finish sixth. You never know because who would have predicted Brighton would have finished like what if finished sixth? They finished. Who would have predicted that? Really? So you never know. Now, 10th is a bit controversial. It's West Ham. Now, they've pretty much signed no one. They signed Harry Maguire, which, in my opinion, is a really good player. And in the end of the video, I want to ask something for like maybe the 40 people that watch this video. But West Ham, they also signed that centre back from Ajax. I can't recall his name now. Alvarez, is it? Yeah. So I think even though they don't have Declan Rice, they're gonna go on a great run and actually finish 10th. Because I can't find another team that can actually finish 10th. Maybe Crystal Palace, but I'll tell you why I don't think they'll finish 10th. But so yeah, it was the most obvious option for me. Like Wolves are going to finish 10th, and Brentford are going to finish 10th because they don't have their main striker until January, I think. And they've got a skeleton squad. Like if you take them on a FIFA 23 career mode, I think they've got a 69 rated player in them. I think it's Goodis or something like that from Ivan, who's actually a player I've enjoyed using at FIFA, and maybe he's good in real life. I've never actually seen him play. So yeah, they don't have their main striker, but I don't think they're gonna get relegated. Like many people like have them 17th in their predictions, but I don't think any other team is gonna get better. Maybe Fulham will, which I have placed at 12th spot. Fulham, obviously, yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to keep on what they achieved last season. Like lots of times, remember Sheffield United back in the 2019-2020 season when they finished seventh, and next year they got relegated. Fulham did excellent this year, and might actually, you never know, get relegated. Like the players they've signed don't look really promising to me. Raul Jimenez, I think he's kind of finished. He might score like maybe 5, 6, 7 goals, but that's it. He'd probably get injured once every 4 games. William, the situation with him is that they released him and they renewed his contract. Then I have no idea. They lost Solomon to Spurs, so yeah, we have to see what happens with them. Obviously, I hope Everton get the 3 points off in 2 days. Then you have put Bournemouth, and I think I should have put Crystal Palace, but as I said, I explained Bournemouth. Same season, same thing with Gary O'Neill, which they didn't actually get as their head coach, which is ridiculous for me. Like it's kind of a decision Bill Kenwright would make if he was at Bournemouth. Like why not have Gary Neal who actually saved you from relegation? Because they had a really good season last year. You know what I mean? Obviously a squad which is not so good on paper. Um Jacob Anthony, like Jamalo, all playing for the club, Ryan Christie, but yeah, I think they'll manage to do 13th if they manage to keep Phil Billing. Maybe he might leave on January 14th. I've put Crystal Palace now. Quite a good club, but here's the thing. I'll try to predict what's gonna happen to them. They're gonna have Roy Hodgson, which they're gonna sack in January because that's kind of typical Crystal Palace. And then maybe they'll be like maybe 17th, 6 points on top of relegation. I personally don't want to see Roy Hodgson even get shot, but he's a bit old. He's like 76. He's one of my favorite managers. He looks like a really nice person, but I think he needs to retire. Maybe I'm wrong. You never know. Maybe every single prediction of it are wrong, but I think they're accurate so far. So what I'm saying is that Crystal Palace, they're gonna sack Roy Hodgson in January, and then they're gonna struggle to find someone who comes. They'll probably get one in February, have a caretaker manager. So yeah, we'll see. But I think they'll be fine off. No problem. That's just what I think will happen. Obviously, they might lose Elise to Man City, but you never know. 15th, I've put my favorite club ever, Everton FC. The Toffees. Now, I think there's some clubs that are clearly worse than Everton, so I'm not worried that much for this season. Are we weaker in coming into the season than we were last year? Definitely are, but if we sign Ginoto and well, we will complete Chimiti, and if we sign Ekitike, which Fabrizio Romano says we might sign, we'll be better off starting than we started with last season. But you see, last season we like signed 7 players and we were saying, oh, we'll be fine. But we actually weren't. Onana obviously was excellent, but I think he won't stay around for much longer. Ghana Gay was good. Well, was not that good. He was inconsistent. But yeah, we might lose Amari Gray. He won't leave on Fulham for time, but I think everything's fine anyways. And we'll be safe. 16th Burnley. I don't think they get relegated. A club I also really like because they have lots of Irish. They have a history of having Irish players in them. I love seeing them getting promoted, and I wish them all the best. I hope they don't get relegated. Obviously, they've lost Howard Bellis, but they've done a good piece in the transfer window. They've signed Berge from Sheffield United, and they should have signed Matson on a permanent, in my opinion. But yeah, James Trafford, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he's ready for the Premier League yet. But maybe they might end up playing Norwich, or they might loan someone. But yeah, you never know. 17th, 8th, yeah, 17th is Wolves. Now, many people say they'll get relegated, but honestly, they might even finish higher than Everton. I know they haven't made any proper transfer yet. Obviously, Matt Doherty, which I don't know, as a player that's quite crap these days, in my opinion, which is sad to see because he was really good before he left for Spurs, where his career kind of had a downfall. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna get saved with Doherty. Obviously, you've lost what you call him, Ruben Neves to Al Hilal or whatever he went to. So, and you haven't really brought someone in. You've lost Ryan Giles, who went to Luton for 3 million, which should have gone for at least 5 million. He's a very promising right back, which I think is quite underrated. So, Juani Chan is a player I really like from Wolves. Obviously, Diego Costa doesn't have goals in him, as we saw. You sold Raul Jimenez, and you haven't brought anybody in for replacement. So yeah, but it might shock everyone to finish 10th. You never know. They've got Will Dance, they've got Jose Sal, which is a really good goalie. But you know what? I feel Wolves are going to be the Leicester in this season. They might actually go down because who predicted Leicester would go down like 2 days before the Premier League's the Premier League season started because they only had signed the Lion King guy. What's his name? Face from Belgium, which was a good centre back. I don't think he deserves the championship, by the way, but that's another topic. So, yeah, no one predicted them going down. You know, they should have sold Tielemans, but that's another thing. That's why Leicester failed, in my opinion, which we're not talking about right now. 18th, let's move on. It's a club I'm really sad to see that potentially might go down, but I don't really think they've got what it takes. Nottingham Forest. Now, I really like Nottingham Forest because they're a really historic club. People don't appreciate historic clubs as much, but definitely that they're maybe Wolves will go down, maybe Burnley will go down, maybe Everton will go down. You never know. Maybe Palace will go down, maybe Bournemouth will go down. I've heard a few people saying Fulham will go down, but yeah, I think Nottingham Forest they spent lots of money, but you know they've spent like 110 million and they barely they save relegation by like the inch of a team. So yeah, they need to sign more players. And potentially, if they go down, I don't think they'll come up again in any time. Obviously, Steve Cooper might do the job, but you never know. Now, 19th, I put Luton Town, which what a story they've had. Obviously, what's a guy called? I think was called Adebayo, who was playing in the National League and was in the Premier League. That's such a nice story. But yeah, I don't think they have what it takes. They obviously signed um marvelous Nakamba from Aston Villa, but still they've signed Ryan Giles. But yeah, don't have what it takes. Maybe if the Shockers like Huddersfield did a few years ago. Obviously, I don't remember Huddersfield doing that since I was like I don't know what 8 back then. Well, yeah, maybe the Shockers saw and survive. You never know. The Premier League is because last year I obviously didn't do any prediction, but who expected that all three newly promoted clubs would not get relegated? Well, you know, and then Sheffield United, which you know I think they will go down because it is my contention that they won't do anything they did in the 1920 season where they actually finished seventh or eighth, I think. Well, yeah, I don't think the striker Oliver McMurray has what it takes. Obviously, lost NDI to Marseille, 17 million, which they haven't reinvested in yet. But Oliver McMurray is decent. George Baldock is decent. They've lost Berge, so yeah, we'll see. But anyways, what did you guys think? I hope I get a comment in this video because I've spent a good few time editing it, a whole day. But yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you enjoyed it and you're an Everton fan, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I've one subscriber now, which I'm very happy for. I've got two other channels, but they're about ships in Greece and they have like 500 subs. So that's good. But I want to have a channel in about my favorite club as well. So yeah, if you don't like this video, you can of course dislike, but please like. Thank you very much for watching and come on you blues.